part 1 of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion. I caught up on most of the episodes before the reunion because they were playing. Mm-hmm. Well, a couple were.
How many did you watch? 3? 2? 4? Okay.
That's not most, but that's more than, I feel like that was more than enough.
Yeah. Well, for you, this one was probably more confusing because the part 1 of the reunion was from like the beginning of the season.
Right, but I also had watched a couple episodes even earlier in the season. So like I felt like I was pretty caught up.
Yeah, the reunion always plays the clips too. So it's like not impossible.
I didn't feel like I was missing out on stuff. And I also have been keeping up with stuff online. And my dad is a very avid watcher of Real Housewives, and he talks about it with me every week. And so I learned from him.
Yeah.
And we've talked about having him come on a segment and do it, but we think he'd get us canceled. So that won't be happening.
Yeah.
Although maybe one day, and we'll have to filter his thoughts.
Impossible.
But it's impossible. You can't hold down Mike Chiffel. People would laugh. They would enjoy it. But some things may
we'd have no control.
Yeah, he's an uncontrollable man.
Yeah.
But part 1 I felt was kind of all right, let's get all of these things out of the way so that we can get to the real juicy drama in the later parts.
Yeah, I was definitely a little disappointed to see that. I don't know. I guess they did say it in the trailer, but the trailer was just so juicy that I wasn't even paying attention to like 3-part reunion. So when they were like, oh, this is part 1 of 3, I was like, damn it, 3 parts. I wish that it just 2 parts is good.
2 parts. You know, give us 2 hours a night.
Yeah. Or just even extend it. But they obviously filmed for a very long time. It was very dramatic, but this was definitely the first part. This was just the first part where they covered like the crystal stuff from the beginning of the season. A big thing that they wanted to talk about was the social media attack on Garcelle's son, which was absolutely absurd. And Andy did make sure to make a statement about that. And then you had Diana come in on the Zoom or whatever. They had we can get to that. There was a nice little Jamie Lee Curtis Halloween movie promo plug, which of course they had to throw in there because that's basically a paid ad for a new movie. It didn't have to be that long, but I personally love it just because there were some heavier moments this season, and the Dorit so chic moment with Jamie Lee Curtis was like the funniest part of the entire season. Just actually laugh out loud funny. And even Dorit just sitting on the couch, like looking at Jamie Lee Curtis, like she's just, and I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis is awesome. So, and I think she loves the power that the show has.
I love Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah. I just was like, all right, we're sitting here talking about the movie Halloween. Let's get to the drama. But I thought she was going to like talk about the drama with the girls, which is what I would have enjoyed. But yeah, that was kind of pointless to me, although it had to happen. And then, yes, Garcelle, I really like Garcelle. She's always just like good head on her shoulders. Nobody's going to mess with her. Nobody's going to mess with her friends. I appreciate Garcelle.
Yeah. She's logical.
She just thinks straight.
Yeah.
Like she's just like,
people are so like their minds are warped.
They can't just like decide what's right, what's wrong, whatever. Like she's like, no, I don't fuck with this. No, I do. Just head on straight. I am so not an Erika Jane fan at all.
I know. She's just gotten, and granted, I can't imagine what it's like to go through everything that she has gone through, but the chip on her shoulder she has now is a lot. And if we do get to the point where every lawsuit that she has is ended and everything is case closed and she moves on with her life, like she's still gonna have that chip on her shoulder. And like now she's so obsessed with, well, that there was nothing found in court, like the fucking Michael Jackson thing.
Yes, and she was like, well, those were accusations.
Well, those were accusations. What happened in court? Like, it's just like, okay, I get it. You're so obsessed because you want it to be so clear that if she's clear in court, then she's 100% innocent. But sometimes that's just not how it works. And if we're going to play the Michael Jackson card.
That made me laugh so hard. First of all, I'm just like, I don't know, whatever. But
No, I understand that Crystal can be a lot, and Crystal being like playing
Crystal
his music.
Was just like a lot.
Yeah,
like,
it's
but
that
the thing is,
Erika's defense to that was like, all
when
right.
she goes, well, they were accusations and they were dismissed in court, and it was like, all right, Erika, you want everyone to know that you're so innocent is making me believe that you're just not. So whatever, but. And also her thinking that she's more famous or well-known than Kathy Hilton. Crazy. The name Hilton. Have you heard her last name?
Yeah.
Like, you're out of your mind. The only reason people care about Erika Jayne and her lawsuit is if you watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and if you pay attention to the Bravo world. Otherwise, you don't give a fuck what is going on with Erika Jayne and her lawsuits. That's just a matter of fact. People care about the Hiltons.
Yeah.
A lot of people care about the Hiltons, not just people on Bravo. So her being like, if she wants to play the game of who's more well-known, like, all right, Erika, just because the Bravo world cares about you does not mean the entire world does. Like, relax. Kathy Hilton, more known than you are.
Yeah.
That's a fact. Yeah. I've always liked Kyle Richards, although she has had her moments where she's wrong and whatever. Mm-hmm. I've always been a Kyle Richards fan from the beginning. She's always been my favorite. And I am just so Lisa Rinna's not it to me.
Yeah, I'm
so out on Lisa Rinna.
It's been tough because I really think like, and we see Garcelle say in the trailer and we saw Garcelle say it in the finale. It's just like, okay, I understand you do not like what happened with Kathy, but now bringing Kyle into it and dragging it out is affecting their families. So it's like, if you actually care about Kyle as a friend, which Garcelle has said many times, like, just drop it. Like, just move on. Like, if Kyle, like, if Lisa Rinna wants to be like, I hate Kathy Hilton because of things she said about me, fine. But if you're going to be like, I hate Kathy because of things she said about Kyle, well, Kyle's moving on from it, so now you have to move on from it. And this whole, I mean, I think it was like the American Cancer Society or like some foundation or society came out and like condemned what Lisa said in the finale, where she was like, I can't keep this in. I'll get sick. I'll get cancer and die. Like, and they were like, no. You can't just throw that out there. Like, that's so absurd.
That was the most dramatic fucking thing I've ever heard. I was like, shut up, Lisa. I couldn't keep this in. It would literally give me cancer.
It would give me cancer.
Shut up.
Like, are you kidding me?
And also, no, I think that Lisa Rinna is having a hard time separating reality TV and real life, and she's not thinking about Kyle Richards and Kathy Hilton being family. Like, she's totally disregarding the fact that she's
done it already. Right. She did it with Kim.
Right. They are family. It's not friends. It's not cast mates. They are actually family. So, like, let's chill for a second. Let Kyle handle it. They're just going, I think Lisa and Erika are going so overboard. When Crystal completely backpedaled on her whole conversation with she said something dark, and then she said, no, it was more the tone of the conversation, not what she said. And then even Andy called her out and was like, you can't say that on TV, Crystal, because people take these things seriously. Yeah. So
yeah, and it's the same, like, and
then Crystal's a whole mess.
It's right. It just feels like everybody, they say things for the shock value, and then it's like the underlying story is actually not that bad, which is why everyone's like, well, Lisa, this interaction with Kathy, like, was it really that bad?
She brought envelopes.
There was definitely something that happened. Of course, we do know that, like, there was something that happened. And if Kathy did have some full-blown, like, meltdown and was awful, then you gotta deal with it. But just to keep bringing it up over and over and over again, when Kathy basically apologized. I don't know already.
If Kathy had a meltdown and she was wrong about that, it doesn't make what Lisa Rinna and Erika's doing right.
No.
Like, they could have went about it in a different way, and then it would be like, oh, okay, Kathy Hilton had a meltdown, went off on them, messed up, blah, blah, blah. They're just making Kathy Hilton look better, and because the way they're going about it is making her look better.
And so much of it too is it comes down to, like, now they have to talk about the actual leaking, like the stories that came out when they finished filming. There were all these details coming out from, like, well, there's all these articles that came out from what happened in Aspen, and the original rumor was that Kathy had like used some kind of slur, I believe, which is why everyone was like, oh no, like that's really bad. But I don't think there's been anything else from that. It's like, oh, that didn't happen, but she had this crazy meltdown where she, said she's going to take down everyone and ruin everything that she said. And it's just like, if Lisa is going to operate that way and Erika, where it seems like going out on a limb here that they had something to do with all those stories coming out, Bravo's not going to like that either, because it just hurts the show too.